Yo! Welcome to the first episode of the Bad Take podcast. Today, I, your host, Mr. Pascal, and my co-host, Made in China, will be talking about our bad takes for the past week. Now, you may be wondering what this podcast is gonna be about, and as you can read by the name, it's about bad takes. So, do we have something to say?
Yeah, let's start with Gear 5.
Gear 5?
Yeah.
Okay, I know you haven't watched the whole series, you haven't started it yet?
Nah, I haven't. I haven't started the series and I haven't read the manga at all, to be honest. I've watched some highlights of the show, but I'm not really deep into it. I don't really know the story. I don't really know much of the timelines and stuff going around. But you've really hyped up the whole Gear 5 shit about the past month, as we would say. And how do you feel about the execution of Gear 5 in the anime?
It was amazing. Like, it was, I think, the most perfect way it could have been adapted. The Looney Tunes style, I think that's what Oda was going for in the manga, but of course it's a manga and you can't replicate it one-to-one.
Yeah.
So, I think it was perfect, but there are many people that don't like it.
a lot of people are not very happy about that. It was too cartoonish and too Looney Tunes style, and like they're not really keen about it. What would you like to say about the people?
I mean, I can understand it, that the way they feel, because the fight was serious before that point. Like, it was probably the most difficult thing Luffy has ever done, and just to go from all that serious tension to the Looney Tunes kind of breaks the feel of the series, but I think that's what Oda wanted it to be in the beginning.
It breaks the vibe of the series or just the fight, because like you have told me that most of One Piece is more Looney Tunes style and it breaks the vibe of the series or just the fight?
The fight. Definitely the fight. Like, it was very serious things were happening. Like, it starts with the 7 scabbards, like the 7 samurai that want to take back Wano, and they were defeated, and Luffy was serious. He was angry. Then many other serious things happened, and then we go to that. Like, but that's the amazing thing, because it keeps true to One Piece. Like, what it's supposed to be.
The core of the show.
Yes, definitely. And I think the animation itself was fire.
The animation was great.
All the things that were, all the little things, like there are even some keyframes in between when he transforms that he looks menacing, like he's not himself. It's a demon, it's a devil, not Luffy entirely.
Yeah, so in the awakening form, the menacing look that he had back then. How do you think Gear 5 will change the whole perspective about One Piece? Do you think will Gear 5 be like affecting other animes and style, about their style?
I don't really want it to affect other anime, because it's its own thing, and other anime should be their own thing, not copying One Piece or anything else. If they want to be good, if they want to succeed. And I think it's just gonna make the battles more lively, because up until now it's always been Luffy gets a power up.
Yeah.
He punches stronger, defeats the enemy, life is good. But now it gives more ways to defeat the enemy. Like, I'm not saying that all his previous ways weren't genius. He's a battle genius. Strategies out there. It's amazing.
But you're changing the formula.
Yes.
The equation has been changed.
Yes, exactly. It's, I think, 10 times more fun now. Like, it's ridiculous. That's probably the perfect way to name the power as they have in the anime. The most ridiculous power in the world.
Yeah, it's cool to see something different, to see different types of and different ideas of how to defeat an enemy. And it's more vibrant, it's more colorful, it's really just a new perspective, a new feel about how battle should be taken in animes. And I think it will be great to affect other animes, because it will not be like the villain and the hero smashed up, the hero is on the verge of defeat, and then he gets some boot armor power up, and he defeats him easily, and just everything is happy. It will, and the way he defeats, like smash him really good, and he's like done for. Now you have that where when he kind of blew the fireball, and he like got the ground, and he rebounded the fireball to him. That was really great, and I think if it translates to other animes like that, it will be great. to see more of that.
Yeah, the fireball attack was amazing. The way it changed the camera, every shot, like it was a sideshow.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I can't wait till the next episode because it's the meat and potatoes of the fight.
This is the real battle.
Yes, this was just the awakening.
Yeah.
Like the battle itself is gonna be even crazier. Like imagine just Looney Tunes on steroids in anime form.
Yeah, I saw that a lot of people are comparing the fight to some Tom and Jerry's episodes, to be honest. I've seen the comparisons and they're like really close. And if the Warner Brothers or the team that did the animations got the inspiration from other like old cartoons and Looney Tunes, stuff like that, it will be like great for the reference points.
Yeah, I think the director of the episode said that he was inspired by Tom and Jerry, definitely.
Yeah.
And it showed, yes.
Yeah, because
amazing.
Because Tom and Jerry is such a great cartoon. Man.
That's childhood stuff right there. I remember watching it as a kid. Amazing.
It's like really great, I would say, and like not the new versions. The new versions are okay, but like the old stuff back in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s.
Yes,
I think
exactly.
I think the most of the episodes are from that time are like really awesome. In general, like the whole ideas of the animators and the ideas that they had back then were like awesome and creative, where like now the cartoons are like following a straight formula, and I don't really like them to be honest. Not most of them. Like yes, you have good 2010s with Adventure Time and Regular Show, great cartoons, but most of them are just kind of garbage, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think that's with most readapted series from old to new these days, like Tom and Jerry, Pink Panther, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
that's why I like the old cartoons.
Yeah.
But I don't like old anime.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, hear me out. They just don't look good to me.
That's just a bad take in general. That's just the worst take ever, because like the 90s aesthetics are different and they're just like cemented in the Hall of Fame, in the Hall of Fame stuff, because you have so many great shows back in the 90s, like Evangelion, you have like Cowboy Bebop, you have Free Gun, you have so many good looking animes with great art style, with great story. Maybe the animations are not as good as today's because they didn't have the same technology, but like they're looking good. You can't prove me otherwise, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they're bad stories. Just
no, but you're telling me that they're like bad looking.
Yes, exactly. Like they look too burned. Like they've been out in the sun for too long. And
so you're telling me that they're like washed out.
Yes, exactly. Not washed out. Burned.
Too burned.
Yes, too burned.
I don't know, man. I haven't really seen it that way, to be honest. Maybe you're seeing it that way, and that's why you don't like to watch old cartoons. But like, I don't really see it that way, to be honest.
And another thing is the voice acting as well.
It's still not true. It's still not true.
No. I'm not saying that every 90s show has bad voice acting.
Okay.
But a lot of them do.
Yes. Okay. And why do you think the voice acting is bad?
I mean, it's definitely the technology. You look anime nowadays, even the trash anime are fucking great. In terms of voice acting. In terms of voice acting. Yes. They have good voice acting. But that's just because the industry has evolved, and of course the 90s just began to voice the anime, to think about that stuff.
Okay. So like, if you take a great show from the 90s and you compare it to some trash other anime from today's in the present day, which one would you like to see more, the new one or the old one?
Definitely the old ones, because the new ones may look amazing visually and sound good.
Yeah.
But if the story is not good, then what's the point in wasting your time watching it, the new trash, instead of seeing the old stuff? But I want the old stuff just remastered in today's standards, to be modernized, basically.
So you want them to be revamped?
Not revamped, but just made better looking. Like that's my.
You want them to be like took from the 90s and just rework the art style and the voice acting, and then it will be fine for you.
Yes, exactly. Because when I watch something, I want it to look good, but I want it to be with good substance as well, if you feel me.
Yeah, like I see it, but for me personally, this is not the case. I really like the old stuff, and to be honest, I really like the way that they try to handle the jobs they had, because like they really didn't have that much technology. They really didn't really knew what was about to happen in the future, and they were just dipping their toes in the water in the shallow stuff, and it was like it was like experimenting, and they tried different stuff, and if it would work, if it would not work, and like I really like them because I can feel the experiments that they tried, and they like got a lot of experience from the 90s, so they could have took it to the present day, because if you didn't have the 90s, you wouldn't have today's anime standards, to be honest.
Yeah, I do respect that. I appreciate it a lot, because you need to have a good foundation to build on something.
Yeah, that was they set the bar.
Yeah,
because let's drift out for a second. You have watched Star Wars, yes?
Yes, all the movies.
And which one are better for you, the old ones or the new ones?
The prequels. I think they're my favorite.
When were they made?
They were the 90s, I think.
In the 90s.
Yes.
But do you know what's funny about Star Wars? Most of the ships that they filmed were actually figurines. They were figures like about 5 to 8 centimeters, and they like got some cardboards and painted the cosmos, and they put the different figures, and they tried different visual angles with the camera, so they could have made the stuff.
I actually didn't know that, and that's amazing. Like,
yeah, and
innovations like that are probably the most exciting thing in movies.
The groundbreaking stuff.
Yes, exactly, in movies and anime and animation as a whole. Like, I love that.
Yeah, because like that's why I really like them, to be honest. I saw, because like there are a lot of movies that were not CGI, and that's why I have some problems with CGI, and we can talk about that later. But like the CGI stuff is great. I'm not gonna discredit it, but like in the past, when movies were made, a lot of people were in the whole process, even stunt doubles, because let's say there is a movie called 2001 Space Odyssey, in which the cosmos has some sounds, yes, and like the director of the movie used his breathing to make the sound of the cosmos, to make the sound of the nothingness of the whole shit.
But like that's kind of the fantasized thing about that, because in space there's no sound.
For real?
Yeah. But there's no way for sound waves to travel. That's why they use radios.
You have different audio from different planets, and their sound.
Yes, but like space itself doesn't have it. It's just the planets that have the atmosphere, or just the way for the sound to travel.
Okay.
Yes, but space itself is just a void. There's no particles in there for the sound to travel through. And that's why people in spacesuits use radio waves to communicate between each other.
So radio.
Basically, yes.
Basically.
Yeah, no, it's just radio, yes.
And like the old stuff, some crazy shit. The whole innovations that they took for us, for other people to adapt. And the thing is that they did the innovations so other people could get them and like redo them and do something new, so we can have it today. So big ups for the people from the past.
Yeah, like maybe, I don't know if it's just the past, like there are many things that are being made today.
True.
But just not shared for everybody. Like,
yes, but
and mostly military stuff, if you know.
You're trying to get political right now.
No, not political.
Okay, but you're hyped from the Oppenheimer movie.
Yes, Oppenheimer was amazing. It just shows like how much stuff we don't know that's happening right now. Maybe there's technology technology for 50 years in the future, and we just and we just don't know about it. Like, and they're gonna release it slowly and slowly.
Was the moon landing fake?
No, I don't want to believe it was. Maybe the pictures are fake, but the landing itself isn't. If you feel me.
But why they did fake?
I think they just didn't have the right technology to capture it. I read somewhere that their cameras were just from the space waves.
Yeah.
And they couldn't capture it, so they remade it on Earth. But the landing itself happened.
So you're telling me that they got to the moon, they took some pictures, went back to Earth, and like they tried to see the whole film, and we're like, damn, I didn't remove the cap.
exactly.
Damn. Imagine to go to the moon and back, but just not took a single photo of it.
I mean, they just weren't prepared, I guess, for it enough. But I think that it's dumb to believe that it didn't happen. There are many conspiracies that believe it didn't happen.
It's
like
too much shit. Like that is documented and stuff that went on for not believe in that, to be honest.
Yes, exactly. And I think it just downplays the abilities of humanity. If you don't believe it, like,
True.
You gotta believe in something for it to happen first, like, and that's why maybe right now we can even go to Mars. Like, they're training astronauts to see if they can withstand being on Mars for a year with just the things that they would need, like the essentials. And why couldn't they get to the moon right now? Like, it's not that hard compared to Mars.
But like we haven't. But from then on till right now, there were no like mission. Why do you think that?
I think it was just time spent developing the technology to be more reliable in space, to figure out everything that needed to be done so it can be more consistent. Like, there are probably many miracles that happened that were the thing that allowed the first space mission to the moon to be completed.
Yeah, but why we haven't went to the moon twice?
We need to. When have you ever had the need to do that? Like,
yeah, but why not?
I mean, I don't know.
like before. Like,
that's a good question. Yes.
Like before, 10 years prior, before like 2013, we didn't knew that there was like ice on the moon. We didn't knew that there was water on the moon, and like just by some accident from the satellites, we discovered that. But like if there was a mission to the moon, we could have knew it before that. And like that's something that many people are asking, why we haven't landed on the moon since then.
I mean, that's true, and I think we're gonna start having many more moon missions when we need to get ready to go to Mars, because the moon is
it's like going to the practice.
No, it's not the practice, it's just they're gonna use the moon as a second space station.
Okay. To
launch off to go to Mars, because the distance is gonna be smaller and they can refuel there. And they can get to Mars. Think of it that way.
Okay, I haven't thought of it in that aspect, to be honest. I don't know. I think it's a strange question with not many answers. I don't think there is an answer, because like we don't really have the knowledge right now us to discuss it. Why we haven't landed on the moon since then? It's strange, because like you're going to have some missions about colonizing Mars maybe in the near 5 to 10, 15 years, and we haven't landed on the moon second time. It's kind of neat.
I mean, we'll find out.
We'll find out, yeah. Okay, to go back to the anime stuff, is Gear 5 really the peak full thing? For
now, yes, and I think.
No, I'm not thinking about. I'm not
saying about the future.
No, I'm saying not. I'm not talking about now. Okay, that's his peak, the strongest form. But for the future, like in the next, in the next couple hundred episodes, is this really the peak of the man?
I think so. He just gets the god power, and he can use it freely. From what we've seen in the manga, he just gets tired, but he hasn't used it more than once a battle. Like, we won't see Gear 6. I don't think so. Or maybe if we see it, it's just gonna be at the end of the series. But until then,
it's like I think it's gonna be the final form.
Yes, exactly. Like it's gonna be, he just becomes a god, like a literal god, and the whole planet turns into rubber. I don't know.
Yeah, but like we may not like guess what's the One Piece, but like what will be the last challenge for the Straw Hats to obtain the One Piece?
I think just getting to Laugh Tale, that's the final I want. I think just getting there is gonna be the biggest challenge because there are many enemies. Yes, many enemies. Blackbeard, the world government that's right now trying to stop them, trying to capture them, and I think that's gonna be their biggest challenge. And I think the fight with Yoooo, which is the biggest boss of the world government, is like his secret leader. I think that's gonna be handled by the revolutionaries, not by the straw hats.
I don't really have an opinion on that. I can't really.
I'm just speaking to the audience here.
To the people that are gonna be on the One Piece side.
Yeah, the people that understand what I'm talking about.
Okay. Alright, would you like to see some CGI in One Piece?
I mean, we saw it in one with Kaido. His dragon form was all CGI. And
all CGI?
Yes, and it didn't look bad. Look decent.
You liked it?
Yes, and I think that if they continue to use that type of CGI, it's gonna be good. And I think the problem with most CGI is the shadows. Like, they look too out of nowhere or out of place.
Yeah, I think it's out of place.
Yeah, like, because the Kaido dragon form, it was shaded very good. It didn't look like it was out of the render of a game, like without textures, without anything. Yeah, and I know you don't like CGI.
I'm not really big fan of it, but I like CGI when it's used correctly. When it's used when there's a need to be used and when the whole team executes it good. Because like I'm a Bleach fan, and and the previous, I think, episode 4 with the death of Sajin, they used all CGI for his final Bankai form, the true Bankai, and it was really great. And I really like CGI when it's used correctly and it looks beautiful. But I don't really, I'm not really keen on about whole series to be animated in CGI, or if it's animated in CGI. I would say the series that will be animated CGI, it would be like developing in a really long time. It would have a really big budget for it, and I don't think they will cash out of it.
I mean, there's Studio Orange, which they make only CGI stuff, and
but like is most of it like good?
Yes, everything I've seen from them is amazing. That's probably some of the peakiest CGI you have ever seen, or you ever see.
For the fans of the anime, or like in general fans?
For anime fans,
and that's the
specifically.
Problem. And that's the problem, because like to use CGI or to use some other techniques, because like CGI, where do we saw it first? Like back in the Avengers movies, yeah. Yes, and the problem I think about when people are using CGI in the animes, because like it would not be as well received as the 2D stuff we're seeing right now, is because like for the studio to use a good CGI and to cash out of it, you have to appeal not only to the anime fans, you have to appeal to the general public, because it will be a really great investment, in the millions, and the whole cash out should be like even greater, like up 10 times.
I mean, they've made many shows for the past probably 15 years, and they're still there. And I think their shows are also very good because of the story, not just because of the animation.
Yeah.
Like, the animation itself is probably the best suited for these types of shows, like Land of the Lustrous. It's about rocks, and you can't really animate in 2D the way a crystal breaks.
Yeah.
Or it looks broken.
Yeah, but like...
And all the shining parts and everything. And another example is Beastars. All the fur wouldn't look as good in 2D, I think. It's gonna be a bit, I don't know, not blunt, but flat, a bit flat. It just gives that floofiness to the fur in 3D.
It gives the realness to it. You want to say it that way? It gives more realness to the objects.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And they also made the new Trigun remake, which I've seen a few scenes, a few battle scenes, and they look amazing. The choreography is just probably some of the best I've ever seen in anime recently.
I've seen, I think, the trailer of it, and I wasn't hyped about it, to be honest. I didn't really like it. So,
I mean, you just don't like 3D, so...
No, I'm saying it again, I like 3D when it's used correctly, when it's meant to be used.
I feel that, yeah, I get it, but I don't think this was it needed to use 3D moment. I think it was just an artistic choice the they decided to
Yeah,
to do studio.
It's a take.
Yeah, the production decided to hire Studio Orange to do it because they wanted it 3D.
Yeah.
If they wanted it 2D, they would have hired somebody else.
They took some kind of a risk, only to be honest.
Yes, and as we're talking about good CGI and bad CGI,
Yeah.
Demon Slayer, the newest episode, the newest season, the Sorcery Village arc. That was the worst CGI I've ever seen.
Finally. I'm going to say it again, because I've said it many more times previous to the podcast. I don't think Demon Slayer is that greatly animated, to be honest.
I agree with that, but outside of fight scenes, like I think the fight scenes are very well animated, even when they use CGI, because they have used CGI before, and I think maybe not that many people that don't like Demon Slayer. The story is meat. Yeah,
true meat.
Yeah, the story is actually true meat. It may as well not be there. Like it's just to give something for the characters to do.
Mm-hmm.
But like the things that the characters do themselves in battles, they're probably some of the hypest moments you ever see.
I can agree that the battle scenes may look awesome, perfect. The animations could be like next level, but like to say the whole show is animated like so awesome, outside you know the fight scenes, I think it's kind of a stretch, to be honest. And I don't really, and people are like, oh my gosh, look at the designs, they're great, and this and that and this and that. I don't really like the designs either of the characters. They're like too chubby for me. They're like, you know, too childish and not in a bad way, because like maybe Demon Slayer was meant to be seen by kids. I don't know. Do you think it was meant to be seen?
I mean, it's a shonen manga, so it's definitely meant to be seen by young men, like 10 to
Only
16.
Men?
No, not only men, like, but it's mostly
young audience.
Yes, the young audience. Like there are definitely many girls that like it. Like it's written by a woman. For the first thing,
okay.
I think, if I'm not wrong, I may be confusing with another series, but it's made to be viewed by young Japanese boys.
Young people in general.
Yes, like 10 to 18 year old.
10 to 18 years old.
Yeah, for example.
But what do you think is the age limit and the age range of One Piece? Like,
I think One Piece age range is just age. Like, there are many people. That started reading it in the beginning. Yeah. They were probably 10-year-old.
And they're like now 40, 50.
Well, not 50. It's been out 24 years, so they're about 34, 35.
Like if you picked it when you were like 25 and now you're 50.
Yeah. I mean, for the 10-year-olds, yes. They are now 34, probably.
And some of them are like 14.
Yeah. And I picked it up when I was probably 14, 15. It's just amazing. Hopefully not die with it.
When do you think One Piece will?
I think by 2030 it's gonna be finished.
In the next, like in this decade. It's gonna be in this decade probably.
Yes, I don't think there's like that much of the story left. Luffy has achieved his peak and he just has to go one more poneglyph, the one last thing to do before reaching the final island, and I don't know where to go from there. Like
I still like see a lot of people that don't really don't want the series to end, because like there's this narrative that people don't really care about the One Piece anymore. They don't really care about the final destinations. They really like the whole road, the whole way that they're going through, and that people would like this to stretch like forever, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the One Piece itself...
Do you care about the One Piece?
The One Piece itself, I don't think it's gonna be that important. Like, it's probably gonna be a crown, or there are many theories that it's just an afro that Luffy's gonna put on.
I would like to be a cape. I would like the One Piece to be a cape.
A cape is gonna be cool. Like, it fits the pirate team, or a pirate hat to replace the straw hat, or something pirate themed. Yes, I do feel that.
A wooden leg.
A wooden leg?
Yeah, imagine like he gets his leg cut off, whoops, and his wooden leg.
That's gonna be interesting.
Or hook. or a hook.
A hook would be cool as well, but I think it's gonna be
or a fake mustache.
wait. Wait.
It's a pirate thing.
Wait, and that's actually gonna be very funny.
It's gonna be crazy, like
or a fake beard.
or a fake beard and mustache.
Ooh, the combo.
The combo.
The wombo combo.
The whole Jack Sparrow combo.
I don't know. I'm just excited to find out what it's gonna be.
Yeah. A lot of people are excited about it.
Yeah, so we'll find out in the next 5 years, probably. Hopefully.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Okay, about the new heat that is coming out this summer, Zone 100.
Zone 100.
Zone 100.
I think that it's probably gonna be, hopefully, anime of the season. For me.
For sure.
And if not of the season, of the year.
Of the year.
Yes, for me personally, it's gonna be anime of the year because it's just way too fun.
It's way, I would say it's way too good. I really like how the whole team handled the anime, how they handled the videography, how they handled the powering of the anime with different scenes, how they introduced us into a really basic scenario in a really basic world, to be honest, with a kind of a basic character, but in the end of the day they executed this stuff perfectly.
Yeah, the MC is just probably the least sane person in the show. And that's
a good thing.
Yes, and that's a good thing because he got that insanity just from being too far away from humanity, just working every 3 seconds he has. And when even the 3 seconds he doesn't have, like he was just overworked to the bone.
Totally overworked.
Yeah, I didn't see him having any social connections outside of his friend before they had a fight.
And they broke up with his friend.
Yeah, and that's probably the last social interaction he ever had outside of work.
Yeah, for the next 2 years.
Yeah, and that's very fucked up, I believe. Like
it's crazy to think that there are Japanese people that they're presented as workaholics. They're like working non-stop. They're working late hours, long hours, every day, all day, 7 days a week, 365 all year around. And like to think that this is the kind of work ethic they have, I understand why they are one of the greatest countries in the world right now. But in the same way, I don't really, I don't think if I was there I would have handled it, because like this is too much.
Yeah, I mean, but they have the lifetime employment thing. Like even if you screw up very badly at the company, you're still gonna be employed. They ain't gonna fire you.
No firing.
Yes, and I think that it's not that the Japanese are very hardworking.
Yeah.
They just don't know how to say no. They don't know how to stop. Like
you're thinking this aspect.
Yes, like they are too scared. Like even if they know that they won't get fired, they're still afraid that their boss is gonna hate them and like make their life harder.
I see it in that way, but I think for the most part that is just a narrative that they adopted back from the 900s, because they yes, as you say, they wouldn't like to say no to their boss, but in the same way they're like just in their souls, in their hearts, they're like I should stay, I should help the economy, I should help the company, should help the country as a whole. It's way deep rooted in them.
Yeah. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. It's just that they maybe need to learn to chill out a bit more, to learn where their limits are. Like they just can't keep doing that. Like they're not machines. Even if they are machines, they need to be oiled every now and then.
They've done that in the past like 50, 70, 80 years, and it's working great for them, for most of them. Like all the unliving shit that's happening there, it's sad to see, but maybe most of the people are thinking like, there will be some cases of deep depression, of like unaliving, but in the most part, in the general part, it's gonna be great for the country, for the economy. And in the same way, I think in that way, for the past like 100 years, people closed in their cell because the birth rates are like really low. But in the same way, Japan has even that they're not like most in the most accepting country in the world.
Yeah, they have huge xenophobia. Yes,
they've like accepted foreigners because like I read somewhere that maybe the birth rates will be low, but there will be a lot of foreigners that will go and take a lot of Japanese homes, and they will rest and there for the rest of their lives.
I mean, yes, that's a great
thing.
So
it's gonna even out the things.
Yeah, and I think that's just natural evolution. Like everybody wants to go someplace new, to experience new culture. Like there are probably many Japanese people that don't want to stay in Japan, even if they do love it there. Everyone is there.
Maybe.
And I think that many people are unaliving themselves. They're not unaliving themselves. They're just passing away from overworking.
True.
Like there are many isekai anime that I watched that. Yes, I'm isekai trash. What about it?
No, you're Discord mob.
No, like
yes.
as I was saying, like there are many isekai anime that have started by the main character passing away from overworking. Like, there was this anime where the guy just laid down for a bit to catch up, and he was just in the new world, and that's up. I'm not saying Japan is the only country where that happens. There are many exploitative companies, but that's just the most we've seen about it. It's
a stereotype for them.
Yes, it's at the forefront. If you want to talk about something bad about Japan, it's the first thing that comes to mind. They're overworked.
Overworked. They're like robots and stuff like that. But there are like a lot of YouTubers that they show that this is not the case. This is not the case for some people, to be honest, because like I've watched a lot of Japan vlogs from Japanese creators, and I see the people that they're just like wake up at 5:30, 6 a.m, get dressed, eat breakfast, go to work. Some people there have their own businesses, do the thing, do this, finish around 6-7 p.m, go home, eat dinner, family time, take a bath, take a shower, go to sleep, and repeat that in the next 6 days.
I mean, yes, that's just the way they live, and there are just many people that probably can't handle it. Like it's just not made for them, and I think that those people should probably go to other countries that are more lax with the rules, that have more, I don't want to say fair work times, because it's
there will never be a fair work time.
Yeah, like it's just life, but more, I don't know, fair work culture, like just the culture that is think about yourself on an equal level with the company, not below the company.
Because like many companies wouldn't like you to have a day off. They would like to stay there like all day, every day, 24/7 until you die. This is what they want from you. They won't let you like finish and go home. They would like you to stay and do more and more work.
I mean, yeah, but there are also many people that also want that they don't want to go home. They just want to continue to work and make money, or just make something.
It's crazy, because like when I finish this year of uni, when I stopped learning and stopped preparing for exams, the week after I finished on the 18th of July, I was like, damn, I don't have nothing to do, and I was like kind of lost for a second, because I was like, damn, what I should do next, what I should should pick up to learn. I was so kind of overworked. I didn't feel that way, but I realized that I was so overworked that after I finished, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, and that's the case with many self-employed people, because they are self-employed because they manage to do something with their skills, and they can provide services with their skills, and they make money, and they just do the things they like.
True.
And they get paid for it. So why would you stop doing that? Why would you work only 8 hours in the day and stop?
Yeah, but this is different, because like when you start a business, you're the last man to get paid in the end of the day. If you're like working, if you're like setting up a whole store, you would have employees like 5 to 6, maybe 10 people that would work there, and like you would have to deal with a lot of the bullshit. You would have to deal with taxes. You would need to do with storage, with people. You have to pay them, and you will be the last person to get the rest of the money. You're not like getting paid, where in the other side of the coin you're like just an employee. You do the job, you do A, B, and C, and go home. You're like okay, and where the guy that runs the whole business may not get a single penny out of it.
Yeah, I'm not talking about where you're an employer and you have people working. You're just yourself running the business, running the thing. Like you're maybe a freelance designer or programmer.
You're just a one-man show.
Yeah, a programmer or editor or something like that.
Yeah.
And you can take things at your own pace. Other people aren't depending on you to pay them. Like you aren't responsible
you're only boss.
for them. Yes, you're your boss.
Yeah.
And you can take all the vacation time you can and need when you need to.
Yeah.
But like,
if you have the money.
Yes, exactly. But the other time you're just working for yourself, and if you're doing the thing that you love, you won't want to stop, even if it doesn't make you money. That's what I believe.
That's kind of a stretch.
There are many people that just do something, like they stay overtime, like they're told you won't get overtime pay, but they just want to finish something and stay to finish it because they don't want to leave it half-assed. If you feel me.
True, but like people who in the end of the day would like to get some compensation for it. In today's world, in currency and money.
Yeah. But I'm not saying that everybody's like that. It's just that some people do it that way. Yeah. Because
I don't really, but I don't really buy the whole stuff about I will do this for free. Maybe if it's about some guy that don't have the money or the resources to, repay me, I can do, this case. But I don't think it should be like an every time thing to do, because in the end people who may start
to take advantage.
To take advantage.
Yeah, there's also that like you shouldn't give too much out of you. So because somebody's gonna say that and think, hey, I can use that. Like they're gonna get greedy.
True.
And that's probably the worst thing that could happen to somebody. That's what I believe. I mean, it's not I believe. I know it. Like I couldn't think of something worse that could happen legally to somebody.
True, and like I don't know, and that's so awful to do so much about someone and then to be just taken advantage of. It's like such a bull.
Well, let's get back to anime because that got a little bit too deep.
Into other stuff.
Yeah. So
okay.
We were talking about Zone 100.
Okay.
Like, let's get back to that.
We watched some shows in the past year.
No, let's continue with Zone 100.
In Zone 100?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, how do you feel the next episodes are gonna go? Are they gonna be as peak as the first 4? Because episode 5 got delayed. Probably because some people were overworked, which is ironic. And the episode 4 was also delayed by 1 day.
Yeah.
As well. So, like, potatoes,
Yeah.
Do you feel that the quality is gonna keep being this high for the rest of the season of the show?
Okay. I'm thinking for now, for these 4 episodes that we have watched so far, there's not a single episode below like 9 or even 9.5 out of 10. And I think that they will continue doing this for the rest of the season. And I think like how many episodes is the season? Like 12 or
12, 13.
12, 13
I
episodes.
believe, I don't know if it's 24, but I don't believe there's enough source material for 24.
Okay, it's gonna be like 12 episodes, and I think like in these 12 episodes we're going to see some, we're going to see the same quality and the same heat and hype that we've seen so far. And I think that's based, and I'm taking this like as a take, that that seasons that are like 12 to 13 episodes are doing great, are doing better than animes that are really long, like 300 400 episodes, or like really long. And because and I think it's that because like the team is like, you set up like 12 episodes to be animated, and they're like, okay, the team is like, okay, we have to finish this 12 episode season. They finish it. The work is great, as we've seen so far.
Yeah, they put quality over quantity.
Yeah, they're putting
yes.
a really good quality, and like you've seen this in Zone 100, you've seen this in like JJK.
Yeah, JJK
per se.
Yeah, which was also very good this season.
Yeah.
Like it started. It's just going backwards in the story. Like the first season.
Okay, but
yes.
just keep the narrative right now.
Continue.
Yeah, and we'll see this in Bleach, because Bleach has so many like improvements from from like past 10 years, and I think that like shorter anime seasons are performing better than long running anime seasons, because the teams here the team has like a final point that they can think about, and they're like, okay, we're going to do this, and we're finished, we're done. And they're putting so much quality, where when you have like a serious, when you go to a team and you're like, okay guys, listen, we have a really great anime, the story is great, everything's great, the character designs are great, but we'll be animating this non-stop every week for the next 5 years. It's like, just the work is great, maybe the rewards are great, but like it's just too much work.
I mean, I think that's what Boruto suffers from.
Yeah,
like
true.
It just like the first few episodes, the first
I like
10
Naruto,
episodes,
to be honest, because
yes.
like if you get an anime and be like, okay, this arc is gonna be even 24 episodes, just get the team to animate this in the next year, so it could be released, and then in the next year do the next chapter, the next
the next arc, the next saga, for example.
The next saga, yes, instead of like go all in on the team, because it's gonna be more quantity over quality, which is not really rewarding for the team, and it's not really rewarding for the audience in the end of the day.
I mean, that's what Mushoku Tensei is doing right now. Like, the studio that does it has said that it wants to animate the whole light novel, but they're not doing it like as a whole. They're doing it season by season. Like the first season completed, I believe, 2022, 21.
Yeah.
And just now it's coming. Season 2 is coming out.
Okay.
And it's just amazing. Like the quality is, if not the same, just a little bit below. But that's just because there have been staff changes.
Yeah.
But it still looks amazing. The story is great, and I hope they continue to keep this quality going further in the story.
Yeah.
Because it just now got to the Harry Potter school arc. But it makes sense because the main character has just hit a wall in terms of magic development. That's the place he can get that magic development, because magic school.
Yeah.
And he's also gonna cure his ED.
Yeah,
that's kind of sad.
I have big respect for studios like that, because like maybe it's not you're not getting as much money for like yearly release instead of every week, every month release, but in the end of the day it's more rewarding for the fans.
Yeah, definitely.
And the fans are like making the whole base for something to be released. They're the ones that would like to be released, and they're the ones that would give the money for merch, for CDs, for DVDs, because in Japan they really like the DVD sales.
Yeah, the Blu-rays.
The stuff like that. And like we have to, I think the studios should think more about fans and not about money, because money will come in the future.
Yes, exactly. And if you give out a good product, it's gonna give the fans an expectation that even if they have to wait a little bit more, they're gonna get quality.
Yeah.
But that's a problem, that many people don't have the patience to wait.
Yeah, that's the other side to the coin, that there are not a lot of the you know the whole span of memory, the whole concentration. People are not would not really like to see something to be made in the 5 years, so they would see.
Yeah, but I think right now is just probably the perfect time to do seasons that way, season by season, shows season by season, because it's not that the show ends, there's nothing to watch. There's always something to watch. There's at least 5 shows you're gonna watch in that season.
True.
In the next season or the season after that. And I think that's probably the best thing that could have happened to the anime industry. That there are many good shows coming out.
Yeah.
And that they can keep making quality stuff and not drop the quantity of the quality stuff that's coming out. Like there are of course gonna be the bad shows that come out, but that's
there will always,
that happens.
There
like
will always
there are studios that need to grow.
A show that will replace the whole of the other show.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, we've watched some new animes in the past year.
Yes.
Yeah, we watched Heavily Delusional,
Delusion,
yes.
And Hell's Paradise.
And like a lot of people are praising Hell's Paradise for what it is right now. How do you feel about it?
It was mid. Very mid. Like
mid.
maybe a bit above true mid.
And I'm really happy
like,
that we share the same opinion, because there are some people that really like to praise the show, and I don't think it's a bad show overall, but it's really mid, man.
Yeah, like I think it just takes way too long for things to get started.
Yeah.
And when they just get started, they end the series.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, maybe the next season is gonna be good, but I don't know if I want to see the next season, because I'm gonna expect that it's gonna be just as slow as this one. I mean, yeah, I'll see it, but like it just kind of kills the hype for the next season, if you get me.
Yeah, I really get you, because like we've got some character development in the first 5 episodes. Nothing really happened. Some fights here and there, not really big fights.
Yeah, there are many people
and they tried, to attach us to some characters that they die in the next.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
Like no, I didn't really felt that way. I didn't really like it, to be honest. We didn't really explore the island. I thought we would like explore the island more. I think I thought there will be many more characters to come out, because like we're having like a good cast right now, but in the same way I don't really have any affection.
You don't care about them.
I don't
like if they die, they die.
No, like I have some affection for the blind guy. He's like cool, and he's like the most experienced and the most wise out of them. But for the main character, that's a bad main character.
Yeah, and the plot twist was kind of like what? Why? Like, yeah, his wife is not real. Maybe.
Don't spoil.
I mean, it's an old show right now. Like, if there are people.
Some people haven't watched it.
True, but like, it's not even that much of a plot twist. It's just
meh.
Yeah, it's not good. Like, maybe she's real, maybe she isn't. Like, read the manga and find out.
Maybe he just schizophrenic at the end of the day.
Maybe.
Maybe.
He could be, like, literally, he could be.
Probably.
He could have brain damage that make him schizo.
True. But in the end of the day, like, we watched Heavenly Delusional. The show is great. Like it's not like the perfect show, but like it's a good solid like 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, it was probably the best show last season, for me at least. Like I watched at least 10 shows last season, and that was probably the best for me. Like it just hit the spot that Fallout feel, if you understand it.
Like
the post-apocalypse, post-nuke society.
Again, they took something basic like post-apocalyptic world and they turned it to be great. I really like the whole cinematography that is going on, the whole videography that is going on, the way that things are animated. I like the voice acting. I like how they're exploring the world, how things are going right now. I like that we have some previous shots in retrospect with
which we don't know if they're.
We don't really know, but like it's probably that.
Yeah, it's probably the past, but you just didn't know if it's the past or the future, which is very cool.
In the first 3 episodes, like it's like mindfuck, you a little bit. But I think in the end of the season, when we saw that they, escaped the whole facility and they, were going to go to the cities when they weren't like, post-apocalyptic. It was like made clear that this was the events that were previous to the apocalypse.
Yes, and I think it just worked out beautifully.
Yeah, true.
Like it was probably the most high quality post-apocalyptic show before Zone 100 that I have ever seen. Like there are probably many I haven't seen, but just from what I know, that's the peak for me.
Yeah, to be honest, if you could rank them, from your favorite to your least favorite, how?
Of these three?
Yeah.
Okay. So right now, Zone 100. It's the best 4 episodes. Like
okay.
Heavenly Delusion's first 4 episodes were good, but they were not this good.
Yeah.
So first is Zone 100, then Heavenly Delusion, and then of course Hell's Paradise.
If I had the chance to not even include Hell's Paradise, I wouldn't include it, to be honest.
I mean, if there are like 5 other shows that were of the same quality as Hell's Paradise, I still put it at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, it's like too slow right now. Yeah, there's a lot of slow animes that don't develop in the in the first 20 episodes, but man, you need a whole like 2 seasons to develop some things, and like we don't really know shit, to be honest, right now, because the end of the season, it was like
it just happened. Like,
it just happened to happen.
Yeah, like it set up the next season, but like what happened this season? We just went from the
big thing.
Yeah, we went from the big thing was learning the power system, and we just learned the beginning of the power system, and some people were already using it without even knowing.
Yeah,
like the blind guy.
Yeah, like the blind guy.
He just saw the Tau which they used.
Yeah,
but the enemy designs were immaculate.
No, the designs are good.
Yeah, I really like that. I like the flower motifs.
Yeah, the whole artwork is great. I'm not discrediting them from the beautifulness of the series, but like in the end of the day, you have the beautiful scenes and everything, but it's not cutting it out.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are probably many more things that we can say about how bad or how many more ways it could have been made better.
True.
But I think that's probably enough for today, for this episode.
Now we have some more topics. The Bleach episode.
Oh, true.
The Bleach episodes.
The Bleach episodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've seen the last 2 episodes. What would you like to share in your opinion about them?
I mean, they were bangers.
They were great, and like I've watched the series this year, like from January to April. I've watched the whole series, and to be honest, I understand why in the end, the Bleach hair decline. The final arc wasn't really like that good, in my opinion. It was like kind of mid, in all honesty, but I really like that the studio, the teams, they probably got a new team. I don't know, that waited for Kubo to take his time to write down the manga, to finish it back in 2017, and to the whole studio take its time and took it as a passion project to animate it as good as possible, because I think if this is the final core, the final arc of Bleach, I will be very satisfied as a Bleach fan.
I mean, I haven't watched it, but I really like the things that they did, especially Maskman. Like yes, like his fight was very macho.
Yeah,
I really liked it. And
it was crazy.
And I also really like the last episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, the with the 2 captains and Renji.
Yeah, the 5th episode.
Episode 5. I really like how they introduced these 2 captains to fight this guy.
Yeah.
And the one said, "How could you lose to him?"
Yeah.
Then proceeds to lose.
Yeah.
Then the other one.
I felt really bad.
Yeah. The other one pulls out the Egyptian god power.
Yeah.
Like
the crazy.
Yeah. Then he proceeds to lose.
Yeah. He lost because the man ruptured his eardrums.
Yeah, because he was way too manly.
He was way too Sigma for it.
Yeah, and I respect the way to lose to that guy.
Yeah, I felt really bad about Rose because his Bankai was animated like so beautifully, so it was so great to see it in that way. It was CGI'd, it was 3D.
Yeah, but it looked good.
It looked amazing, and like to lose to this man, I was like, damn. But like in the end of the day, Range saved the day, and I hope that hate about Range is gonna stop after this episode because like
he looked menacing. Very menacing. He looked like a Bionicle.
I really understand why people say that Bleach is the weak show out of the big three of One Piece and Naruto and Bleach, and I understand it, and I understand that Ichigo is a much more mature character compared to Luffy and Naruto, but I think in the end of the day that's the whole the whole scenario that attaches me to him, because like he's the man that I really like. To be honest, I really like his persona. I really like how he's handling things because he's not overthinking it. In the end of the day, he's just like putting in the work, putting in everything. He has, a lot of plot armor is helping the man. A lot of situations that Kubo included, that he's whole hybrid of human, of holes, of quizzes and everything.
I mean, he's the chosen one, basically.
He's the chosen one, but in the end of the day, Ichigo's struggles are not.
They aren't made up. Like they're real.
His struggles that are presented in the shows are not about attaining power. It's not about trying to handle the power. It's more like the man wants to get the power so he could protect everyone that he does. That's the whole narrative about him, and it's like a basic narrative, but it's the way that it's presented to us. It's like really great in my opinion. That's
actually one thing I really like about the old shonen.
Yeah.
Because they don't go into the super deep stuff. They just go, I need to win this battle to protect the people that are close to me, that I care about. Like, that's why I also like Dragon Ball, and why I also like One Piece.
True.
And Naruto doesn't really feel like it goes in that direction for the most of the time. Like,
no, I think it kind of goes in that direction. To be honest, he would like to protect his boyfriend in the end of the day.
I mean, he was his first kiss, so
true.
I get it. Like, but yeah, I mean, that's all I can say about that, about Bleach, about these episodes. Like, I haven't watched the series, but I really like what they did with these episodes.
Yeah. I really like.
Yes.
I really like how Again, I'm saying that I hope that Range hate stops after the episode, because I think right now the Bankai that he has a purpose to him. It's like the old one was great, the stretching sword with the snake head was great, but this one, the true Bankai, it's like more suiting him, because it's not he's doing one thing. It has, the bionicle arm. I don't know if it's a monkey arm or something like that.
I think it's it looked like a snake.
Maybe it's a snake. It had like the sword and the whole fire electric thing that's going on. I think Kubo made it like great for him.
Yeah, the designs in Bleach are stylish, very stylish. I like them.
Great. I think they're great, to be honest. I really like the style of Bleach, to be honest.
Yeah, it's probably maybe a bit lower than JoJo's design. But
JoJo is a whole different story, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna talk about JoJo's another time.
And I think JoJo, just to take some time, JoJo's designs are not meant streetwear. They're fashion. They're really fashion, where Bleach is still fashion, but it's more streetwear orientated.
Yeah, which fits the show, because it's more street feel.
And like the people that are watching the show are like between maybe 18 and 20 something in the end of the day.
They do look great.
They look great. And in this week's episode, we're about to see Rukia's Bankai.
That's probably also gonna be hype.
But
sadly, it's gonna be overshadowed by Gear 5, the Gear 5 battle itself.
In the following weeks we're going to see the Kenpachi fight, probably, with Gerard.
Kenpachi is just a menace.
Yeah.
A menace not in disguise, he's just a menace.
Like he rejected to go in Spot Zero because like he's too powerful for them in the end of the day.
I mean, he knows how to treasure himself. He won't let go to something below him.
He's like, you know, he just wants to fight in the end of the day. He's just a fighting machine. I like to you know see that in core 1 of the Bleach 1000 Brute War arc, that he wasn't even at full potential in the end of the day, and he was like repressing himself from his true potential. It's like, damn, how much more he can, you know.
And he's just a regular Soul Reaper, right?
I don't know. I don't know. We don't really know about, you know, backstory as I've read so far, because like he was, you know, raised poor in the end of the day, and like he was, you know, recognized by Unohana for for killing so many people, and he was like admiring Unohana for, you know, her way of battling, her, you know, bloodlust about things. But the moment that he, you know, ruptured her in his battle, he's like, damn, I should chill out. And he chilled out.
Damn, I don't know anything about that, but sounds metal.
It's great.
It sounds metal.
It's like too much. Nah, it's great. I really think that I would say if Bleach ends in that fashion, in that way, with this kind of, you know, rewarding scenes that we're watching right now, I really love even more people to recognize Bleach as a great anime, to be honest.
I mean, I think it's getting recognized as being a great anime right now, like even by people that haven't watched Bleach. Yeah. And that's amazing.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Who else is also amazing?
Cool.
The people that watch this episode.
Yeah, true.
So, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Tell us about your bad days, and we'll talk about it in the next episode.
Yeah.
So, goodbye.
See you till next time.